Hello, I'm Garner Mayor Ronnie Williams. We're here for another episode of the show that we call Great People in Garner. With us today then, Angie Mikus. How are you, Angie?
I'm good, Ronnie.
Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome to the show. When you started your restaurant, and it's what, less than 3 years old?
Yes, sir.
How did you make it what it is today? Everybody wants to eat with you. Everybody wants to meet and greet here. It's a social atmosphere. Everybody loves Angie's. How did you get it so established?
Well, Ronnie, I think the 20 years of waiting tables and building relationships with people and just kind of doing what I did, working at different establishments over the years, I think that that was what I had, what we needed. I just needed a place for all of us to get together.
And that answers the next question. What was your background in the restaurant business?
Well, I worked at Toot and Tell for probably 15, 16 years, and then after that, I Garden Gate Cafe, I worked at Farmers Market, I worked at just multiple different restaurants throughout the years. Some I managed, some I just waited tables, but I always knew in my heart that I always wanted to have my own place.
And you accomplished that.
Yes, sir.
It takes courage and strength to do what you've done. How did you instill that in yourself?
The people.
Well, that's always a good answer. The people make
The
it work.
people encouraged me and made me believe in myself way more than I ever believed in myself.
Back to working at other restaurants and waiting tables, how did the Garner community encourage you to open this restaurant?
Well, every time I would leave to go somewhere else, they would show up. Every time I would go, it didn't matter if I worked in Raleigh or if I worked in Garner, the Garner community would always show up to support what I believed in, and me, and my children.
Okay, this past January you were awarded the Dream in Action Award by the Martin Luther King Jr. Committee. What types of things do you do in the community that led you to this recognition?
Well,
You got this Pay It Forward.
yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
Okay, well, I mean, it pretty much starts out that I was a young single mother for many years, and there was times that I couldn't afford to pay rent, buy food, Christmas, baseball, and this community always made sure I had what I needed. I would show up to work hard and do what I was supposed to, and people would make sure that I had what I needed.
When you were presented that Dream in Action Award, tell your viewers about the emotions that you felt.
Well, Ronnie, I think when you told me that I was going to receive the award, I asked you, did you have the right girl? I mean, I'm in awe. I just still can't believe it. I mean, like I said, I don't do anything expecting anything in return, but to be rewarded with something like that from this town, it's very, very rewarding. I was very honored.
The graciousness, the kindness, the wonder. You can see her caring for elderly people who are alone, who need a friend, someone just to listen. She's so busy, but those ears are always there to hear. And those arms are always there to care.
I worked on a speech. I had everybody helping me work on the perfect speech, and then when I get up there, I didn't even have the speech, of course, so then I start mumbling off. But I was so nervous because, here I am this far, and I didn't want to disappoint anybody, and just being so honored to receive something like that is a great honor.
I mentioned Pay It Forward. What motivates you to this type of activities that you do things and are eventually given a recognition in the form of an award?
Well, I don't ever do anything expecting anything in return. I do it because I just feel it. And just something inside of me tells me that I need to do this. Hopefully I'll change somebody's life for a day, or hopefully, we did the Thanksgiving thing the first year. Then the following year, there was a couple out here that helped me volunteer. Well, then this last Thanksgiving, they didn't volunteer here, and finally they came in the restaurant and they said to me, you know why we didn't volunteer? We've been dying for you to ask us. And I said, well, no, why? I wasn't going to ask you. I figured, that's a family time, They said, well, we did exactly what you did in our community. So that gives me, that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, you don't do things expecting anything in return. You're hoping that other people will do the same elsewhere, and then hopefully we can just start changing, take away the homeless or take away single mothers or fathers that can't afford to do for their kids. If everybody would work together and supporting each other and looking after one another, I think that day by day, and it'll just change.
Okay, you know Garner's an all-American city.
Yes, sir.
What makes an all-American city, and how does Garner figure into that definition?
Garner is like no other place I've ever been. I've left Garner and I've turned around and come right back to Garner. It draws people. The people in Garner are very supportive. Like I said, I mean, it's just like no other place I've ever been. When you leave, you miss it and you think about it, and it's just a great place to be.
Angie, I think everybody knows about the long hours it takes to run a business, but can you tell our viewers something about a restaurant that may surprise them?
Well, I mean, for me and my restaurant, this place gives me, money can't buy what it gives me. I mean, I'm the fairy tale. You know, for so many people told me that I couldn't do it, that it, you know, it's not, but then I had a tremendous amount of people that said I could. And finally to reach the goal that I always set for myself, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
We briefly touched on the hours that you put. How many hours do you put in a week?
On an average week, about 90.
Gosh knows, that's a lot.
That's without catering, or that's just the average. I get here at 4 in the morning, and I may leave, I don't know, 5:30, 6 o'clock every night, and then I'm here on Sundays, you know, updating stuff, painting stuff, cleaning stuff, or sometimes I have caterings, just depending on what's going on.
How do you manage the long hours? You don't get any sleep?
I can't explain it. I don't want to sleep. I mean, this place, have you ever felt like you were drawn to something? I feel like I'm drawn to this. The community it just gives me something that I just cannot explain, and that I don't take for granted, and I don't want anybody else to, you know, step and run my business or do anything. I like being here all these hours. And the fact that my kids are older, it just makes it easier for me to have my own business.
You said in a former interview, on a daily basis, you watched the poorest guy buy the richest guy's meal. Do you remember saying that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Talk us through that a little bit.
Okay, well,
it really happens, right?
It really happens all the time, and I'm not going to say any names, but it doesn't matter here. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're white,
Everybody's
black.
equal, right?
Everybody's equal. And the funniest thing is, this is like something, and I'll say it again, something I've never experienced in my life. People stand in line 15, 20 minutes. There's people that when they see them standing at the door, come in here and sit with me. They don't even know these people. And next thing you know, this one's buying this one's breakfast, and you know, and I know that this one has probably more money than they know what to do with, and this one, he's barely have enough money to scrounge up to eat breakfast, and he'll end up buying their breakfast, and then next thing you know, the next time they come in here, well, they sit together automatically. They look for each other. I mean, people come in here and look for people, you know, that they've met, or just, it's just a great place. It's just a good feeling, and you know, like I said, everybody's equal. They don't look at stuff like that.
You run daily specials. Is one of them more favored than the other?
Every day, I think, is.
Whatever's special every day.
Yes. I mean, people just, I don't know, that every day it's, you know, somebody asked me one day, what's your best day? Every day is my best day. You know, when I first started, 6 weeks before we opened up, I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't anything. Nobody around me could sleep and eat because I drove him crazy. You know, I thought, no, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this. I changed my mind. Let's back out of this. I don't want to do this. You know, and then something kept telling me, you know, when I would show up out here to pull everything out of here and clean it, then you'd have just numerous people coming up and volunteering their time for nothing. I mean, I didn't pay the first bill, you know, and they were out here, we believe in what you believe in, we want to help you, you know. And then they just kept giving me courage to keep moving, and now that it's been almost 3 years, I still sit in here and wonder, I don't understand how this is even, I don't want to wake up, you know, if this is a dream, you know. But I mean, it's just a community place. I mean, my name's on the building, but it's really about Garner and people that are in Garner.
Talk about the history of Durwood Green and Green's Grill.
Well, one of the things, we did the mural, you know, because I wanted to, this is what it started out, I wanted it to, you know, without him, we wouldn't be here today. And, you know, I just have a whole lot of respect for Mr. Green because, you know, throughout all my years of working at different places and stuff, I always heard about Green's Grill, Green's Grill, Green's Grill. So when I opened this place up, I told Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, I want to do a tribute to Mr. Green.
Tell your viewers who Jimmy is.
I'm sorry?
Tell your viewers who Jimmy is.
Jimmy, well, I mean, I hope one day he's going to be my husband, but right now he's my boyfriend.
You'll be pleased to hear that.
Yeah. And so for my congratulations on my, you know, starting my own business and it taking off good and doing well, he paid Vince Wood to paint this mural back here, which over the last 2.5, almost 3 years, we've added to it, as time goes on, like we added your mother-in-law, to it, and different people, businesses through Garner that have been here forever, But, just, I heard somebody, Mr. Green, I think I have the same feeling that he had. He was drawn to this place. He liked it. I mean, I had a guy tell me one time, Angie, always find something that you like to do, because if you like to do it, you'll never work a day in your life. And even though I work 90 hours on an average week, I don't feel like I ever work. I mean, it's just, I get tired. I'm not going to lie to you, just like anybody else. I mean, I'm human, but I'm not tired of the business. My body gets tired, And sometimes having 24 employees, that'll wear on you every once in a while, But all in all, it's very rewarding.
Okay, chitlins or chitterlings has always been associated with this, but
Right.
you have chitterlings.
We have them every Friday. We have them every Friday.
Are good? Do they sell well?
They do. We sell out every week. Every Friday we have them. We started out having them on the menu, and then I think a lot of people, when they would walk in the door, they'd see the daily specials, and they wouldn't order them. And then I don't believe in wasting anything. I'd rather give it away than waste it. So, on an average week, if we have any left over, I take them to people that, like something like Meals on Wheels, to people that, I don't know, if they can't get out, or, there was one lady that just lost her daughter, so I try to take her a plate once or twice a week, and I don't expect anything in return for it, So then we just changed it up, and we decided that we would have it once a week, and we would put it on the board, that way people could see it. So for the people that walked in here and looked at the board and automatically ordered, they would see that.
Now, you told us about Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
You've got 2 sons.
I have 2 boys.
Let's talk about them a little bit.
Well, they
They make you proud, don't they?
Very proud, very, very proud. And they didn't always have it easy. I mean, like I said, raising a single mom, raising 2 boys, just but they never really asked for a lot, and they always saw me work hard, and they were really excited when I finally set my goal and finally reached my goal, and I also have a granddaughter. So, I mean, my life right now is
as good as it could be.
If I was to die tomorrow, I'd die the happiest woman in Garner or in the world. I have a successful business. I have a great man in my life. I have a good family. My 2 kids are doing great, and I have the little girl that I never had in my life. So it's a very completed feeling.
Have you had any celebrities come and eat with you?
I think everybody's a celebrity.
Good answer.
I think everybody has a story, and some people are dealt better than others, but that doesn't change the way I feel about them. I think like I said, everybody has a story. My grandmother told me a long time ago, Angie, she said, look, everybody has a mother, brother, father. Don't look at color. Don't look at what they have and what they don't have. Read the book, and that'll tell the story.
When you received that award, you mentioned prayer. Is that a part of your routine daily?
Every day, all day, Ronnie. I pray and thank God every day, all day. If it wasn't for him, first and fourth, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And he's helped me through a lot of things that, years ago, I just kind of put my life in his hands when I felt like I didn't have the direction that I needed or things weren't going my way. And my grandmother was passed away because she was a very big part of my life. I just put it in his hands, and this is where I ended up.
Catering. A lot of the people may not know you do catering, but you've added that to your service.
Yes, sir. Well, we've been doing that probably 3 or 4 months after Jimmy. The first catering that we did was for Mary and Alex Lee for Brian Lee Funeral Home, and it was the Chuck Wagon Gang, and I had his Suburban, and a whole urn of tea went over in the Suburban, so he instantly went out and bought me a van. So, and that seems to be taking off good. It goes, the springtime it's busier than in the winter, but we do a lot for a lot of the businesses around here, and we try to make it cost effective, which everything's going up, so it's, we just try to meet in the middle,
Let's talk about Garner's future. Have you got any aspirations about what Garner may be 5 and 10 years from now?
Well, if it gets any better,
you'll still be in business, right?
I hope to be in business till the day I die, Garner is great. And if it gets any better than this, y'all are going to have to build walls around to keep the people out, But I hope that it continues to grow and bring more jobs here and, more restaurants here. Somebody said, well, Angie, do you know this restaurant's coming in or this restaurant's coming in? And I said, look, I have all I can handle and I don't have time to worry about anybody else. And there's enough people around here that we could probably feed 10 more restaurants. I mean, I have people all the time saying, we drive and drive and drive around your parking lot and we can't ever get in, so we go somewhere else, or they'll leave and they come back. But I think there's room for growth, and I think Garner's a great place to start a business. Like I said, the people here, they are very, very supportive. If they believe in something and really like it, then you don't have a thing to worry about, and I'm a proven fact for that.
Okay, we mentioned earlier your daily specials.
Yes.
How do you pair them up with your vegetables and the other meat that you're offering? You offer 2 meats for lunch, right?
Yes.
How do you pair them up?
Well, you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Linda Blake, she's the one that got me started in this business years ago. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here today. I knew that I could do the front of the house, and I knew that she can handle the back of the house. She's 73 years old. She comes in here with me every morning at 4 o'clock. She makes the biscuits and has finally taught me to make the biscuits. But she's taught me everything I know, and she's the one that's paired up everything together. I just always thought that Southern food was comfort food, and it just makes people feel good, I like to make fresh chicken salad, fresh tuna salad. We make potato salad fresh, but I really owe it to her for putting all that together.
Okay, you may not want to talk about this, but I know you're on the cash register for every transaction, is that?
I am.
Good move.
Yes, sir. And it's not that I don't trust anybody, but I try to walk around and greet and talk to people every time, and sometimes I may not, just given, every day you don't know what's going to happen. We've had it where the oven caught on fire or this happened, and there was times that I couldn't go around because I had things I had to handle. But at least I know that if I had to come out here and get the register, that if you had a bad experience here, I'm there to make it right then. Whether it is just to say, here, don't worry about it. Come back and try us again, because this is not normally how it is. Or, just to say, hey, how are you? Hope that you enjoyed your meal, But I like being the one to thank you when you're going out the door. Y'all doing good? Oh, yeah. Kids doing good?
Yeah, they're in daycare.
Yeah. I know this is like twice.
Yeah.
I've seen y'all together.
Yeah, we got the whole day today there. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, because you'll have them on Monday, right?
Yep.
Angie, all of us can't be from Garner. You're not from Garner, but how did you end up in Garner?
Well, my mom and dad, my dad's from Chicago. My mother's from Welch, West Virginia. My dad was in the service. My mom and my grandmother moved her kids from West Virginia to Virginia, and my mom met my dad in Norfolk, Virginia. I was born at Portsmouth Naval Hospital in May of 1976, and we lived there probably until I was 8 years old, and then they separated. And when my mom remarried, her brother-in-law lived here, and we moved here. So even though I'm not from Garner, I feel like Garner is my home and always will be my home. It was the place that I chose to raise my kids and the place that I chose to stay, and I plan to be here for the rest of my life.
Your drink and a dessert is part of your meal, nothing extra.
Right. Yes, sir.
That satisfies people a lot.
Well, with the daily special, the $7.25 special, we give tea with it and dessert, and there's people that come in here and get a cheeseburger, and I said, still give them a dessert. My grandmother always taught me, if you can't bring enough for everybody, don't bring it at all. I've always been one. I don't want to take, say you just get a grilled cheese and you get a special. Well, how would I feel, if I just said, here, there's your peach cobbler, and I'm sorry, but you're not going to get any, So we just always bring a little, it's not a lot, but we bring a little bit of dessert to everybody.
And I jokingly, before the interview, talked to you and mentioned the fact, or asked you, would you ever consider franchising Angie's?
No.
That's a quick no. Why? Or why not?
There's only one of me. I'm not, don't get me wrong, Ronnie, I'm here to make a living, but it's not about the money for me. I give out way more than I, take in. Well, probably not, but I don't do it just for the result. If you take hours to money, the hours that I put in here, I don't get paid. I pay myself a salary, and the rest of it goes to the bank to cover everything here. We've fit up this, we have a whole new kitchen back there that we've been able to buy. You know, we try to do landscape, and this is an old building, and I feel like I Band-Aid it every time I turn around. Something breaks down, air conditioner. We've just put carpet in here a year and a half ago, and I think it already needs to be replaced. But I want people to come here and show that all their hard-earned money that they're spending in here is not just going, you know, in my pocket or in whoever's pocket, or, you know, I try to pay people a decent living. I also try to update everything to keep things moving, and we just put a POS system in here, and we're hoping to get that up and running. But we try to be modern, and there's a couple more things that I'd like to do once we get a little extra time. But you know, I want to tell more about Garner in here. You know, I want people to be able to take their smartphone and look at something and it tell a story, just like with Mr. Green. I want somebody to be able to take the smartphone and look at the mural and it tell his story. Your mother-in-law, myself, the Optimist Club, the Lions Club. I want people to know about Garner and whatever I can do, because we have so many different people that are not just from Garner that come here. You know, we have people from Lewisburg, we have people from Wake Forest, we have people from all over the place that come here. The lady that used to live in this house over here, I think she was born in this house, and I think she's like 89 or 90 years old, and I don't remember her name, and I should be ashamed of myself. But she had, I think she lives in Lewisburg now, and she showed up here one day, and...
But her niece or somebody bought her, is that right?
No, she drove herself.
Was that right?
She did. But she had heard this, and she couldn't wait to get over here, you know, because, you know, she had heard so many good things about it, and then she came in here telling the story. You know, and I just thought that was very interesting that, you know, for her to come all the way from Lewisburg and just to show up over here, you know, and share something with me that really has, you know, it's history in Garner. This place has been here for a very long time, and if these walls could talk, I would hate to know. It would be pretty interesting.
I think you told me months after you started serving food that you didn't draw a paycheck for a long time.
I didn't draw a paycheck probably for the first 7 or 8 months.
And you stood the test of time.
I'm very frugal with my money. I don't, you know, I try not to spend it unless I need to spend it, and I'm still the same girl. I'm just the girl living the dream. You know, I'm just the waitress that owns the restaurant, or, you know, I'm just glad to be able to do this. But, you know, just people, I mean, they just come in here and reminisce, you know, and, you know, you know, I have people that come in that have lost loved ones, and they just sit here, and even like, just in the short period of time that I've been open, we've lost a lot of great people here.
And there's a lot of widows and widowers to have lunch with you.
Yes.
Probably every day.
And you know what? I don't let them sit by themselves. I make sure they sit with somebody. You know, and then they end up making friends, and like I said, they'll come back, you know, maybe not the next day, but the day after, and they'll all sit together, and you know, and I think people are a very important, you know, part of people's lives to be healthy and happy. You know, being by yourself is not a very, very happy experience. So, you know, here, everybody seems to be happy. I mean, I have this, if you're grouchy, irritable, or just plain mean, I will charge you $20, and I will enforce it. So we don't have any of that here.
But we talked about it a little bit earlier. Garner's newer population, those who have lived here only a short time, they have found Angie.
Yeah.
And of course, the older ones, Durwood Green and Greensboro, they have found Angie. So you've got a total mixture of the entire.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, you have to curve with the times, you know. I mean, you know, just like, you know, we try to switch up the menu some. I mean, you know, when I first opened and said, you know, hey, look, we're going to do brains and eggs now, I did do that. We're going to do chicken livers and gizzards. We're going to do calf liver. Everybody said, nobody is going to eat that stuff. I sell out every week. The first week that I had, okay, the first time we had chicken livers, well, then everybody kept asking me for gizzards. So they come in a 25-pound box. We sold out the first day that I had chicken and livers and gizzards together.
Well, you remember the day I came in here with Congressman Price?
Yes.
He ate chicken livers.
Yes, sir.
And he said the best he ever had, and he said you can't find these everywhere.
No. Well, and then you figure people that are married, you know, their spouses don't eat it, so they can't, so they like it. I mean, it's maybe not something they want to eat every day, but every once in a while or every Wednesday, you know, they can come in here and get them.
Angie, it's been a blast. I appreciate you taking time to sit down with us, and you'll enjoy this program when you see it televised. But again, thank you for your time, and God bless you, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, Ronnie, and I just want to thank you and everybody in Garner and the town of Garner for all your love and support. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here, and you don't know what an impact you've had on this girl's life. So thank you.
Very good stuff.
We made some yesterday. I cooked it off Sunday, and we made them yesterday. We sold out. We sold a 15-pound corned beef in sandwiches with sauerkraut and Thousand Island dressing. Oh, Ronnie, it was.
You know where the Players Retreat is?
On Hillsborough Street?
Yeah. Have you ever been there?
No.
I met somebody there for lunch one day last week. They got the darn best Reuben sandwich I've ever seen.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ronnie.
And it's 1951.
You just come on here tomorrow, and I'll knock your socks off.